So today we're going to talk about education, and we're going to talk about why school isn't important. No, no. The topic of this is why school is important. It isn't really. You, you're just a video, okay? Did you go to school? Did you go to school? I don't think so. I did, and besides, I'm making you, so I know more than you do. Lie me. Enlighten me. Really? You want me to enlighten you? Well, okay. Well, okay. Let's begin by stating the obvious, okay? I have an associate's in arts and science. Do you have an associate's in arts and science? For do you even have an associate's? Of course not. Can you even get one? No. Okay? You even know how many people have associates? A lot. Um. Well, yeah, but you know what? That's beside the point. You know what? You're just jealous. You're just jealous because you're a stupid video who's gonna remain ignorant, just like the rest of the ignorant people that do not go to school and do not go to college, do not receive an education, and do not want to better themselves. There's ways to better yourself other than school? Really? Really? If you expect to be whatever you dreamed of being, you need an education, okay? That's just the way it is. There's no way around it. Okay, we agree there. Exactly. See, you're not as stupid as you look. Okay, no. You do need school, okay? How are you even gonna learn if you don't learn in school? Online. Oh my god. Poor thing. So you think that you can actually get an education online? Well, I mean, okay. There are schools online. Look, without school. Without school, really? Really? And just when I thought there was some future in you. Well, you seem to know a lot. You're obviously not ignorant. You don't just another person that is smart and should be acknowledged. Or you can show me. You can show me. Okay. So video which I am making is gonna show me that I can learn more through what he now understands after 2 minutes and say what 40 seconds of life. You're gonna show me how I can learn. You know how long I've been alive? Over 24 years. That's right. I think that 24 years, it's more than 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, there's no possible way that you know more than me. Okay, I'm going to school. I am going to school. I am gonna be somebody. And you're not. With that mentality, you're not, okay? You're not gonna learn anything. You gotta go to school. Plain and simple. You don't. You don't. Oh, and you can show me. And you can show me. Okay. Okay, you know what? I have a final exam in 2 days. And you're part of one of my final exams actually. Another class. But nonetheless, you want me to waste my time so that you can show me how I can learn without school. Even though I've learned for the past for over 15 years, okay? I've learned for over 15 years. And you think you can show me how I can learn without the need of school? Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna regret this, but you know what? I am an open-minded person because I went to school. That's what I learned. I don't just close up to people's ideas or videos ideas. I listen. I give everybody a fair chance because that's what they taught me. Okay, they taught me that I should not judge people or videos, and that I should listen to other people because they might have a valid opinion. Not, but okay, okay. Show me. Go ahead. Show me video of 4 minutes and 40 seconds of a life. Show me how I can learn that school and why school is important. Boring. You're really gonna start with the quote, dude? That's so lame. Woo! By James Fenimore Cooper. I can assure you, it's not as broken as you are. Well, why fix what's not broken, right? I guess it's gonna be fun.
The 6th grade, they are taught that the key to success in life is to do well in high school so that they can get accepted to the best possible college. The better grades they get in high school, the better college they will have an opportunity to get into. They are taught that if they get into a great college and get their college degree, any type of job they desire in the field of their choice will be there waiting for them. After getting their dream job, they will be able to buy any car and house they desire, start their own family, and live the American dream.
The mentality is this, that corporations and businesses won't hire a person unless they get a degree. Not me. I don't care if you have a degree. It makes absolutely no difference.
Okay, stop. Please stop. Who is this loser? It's not important. It makes no difference. What is this guy talking about? I mean, do you even know who the richest people in the world are? Huh? Do you know how much they're making? Do you even know what they went through? Carlos Slim, Halou, and family. Net worth $63.3 billion. Wow. Telecom, self-made. That's how he made his money. Is that like a company or something? It's Mexican. Whoa. Look at that. That's a shocker. Education, Bachelor of Arts, Science, University. Got a bachelor's in Arts and Science, and you're making that much money? Wow. But if you had gotten a PhD, I mean, you're a lucky exception, dude. I mean, come on. What about the rest? I mean, surely Bill Gates' net worth $59 billion. You see? I mean, it's another billionaire, I guess. Second billionaire. Title, co-share. Microsoft. He made. Oh, this is the guy that made Microsoft. Yes, of course. Dropout. Out of Harvard University. He dropped out of no AA. You tell me that I'm smarter than this guy? Huh. Wonder if I can take Microsoft away from him. Maybe that'll mean more money. Warren Buffett. $39 billion. That's how you make your money, Warren. Berkshire Hathaway. Self-made. Another business person. Obviously, okay, see? He's got a Master's of Science out of the Columbia University. And a Bachelor of Arts in Science of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. He's widowed, but probably that's why he's got a lot of money, but not the point. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Smart people, okay? These are smart people, even though he's made his money out of business and has nothing to do with arts or science. I mean, he's not an artist. Well, I guess, no, maybe not. Okay. Oh, Bernard Arnold, $41 billion. Source LVMH. What is LVMH then? That even is. You see? But he got another Bachelor's in Arts and Science. Is that LVMH like a painting or something like that? Bachelor's. Where's the PhD? Where's the Masters? I mean, Larry Ellison. Dropout. University of Illinois. Urbana. Oh. And dropout of University of Chicago. And he's got $33 billion. Okay. I'm a college person. This is not what I was expecting, but how about I just finish the video and I'll stop talking now.
I want you to have a mind, be able to think for yourself and think on your feet, and be energetic and love what you're doing and have a passion in so many different other ways. Not to be able to just regurgitate what you're being told. And that's all it's come to, it's regurgitation.
be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, and I want to be a veterinarian.
How come?
Because I just love animals, and I would like to help somebody in need.
How'd you get that idea?
I read books in the library.
When 8th graders across the country were tested for reading, most scored between 20 and 35% of grade level. The worst scores for reading are in Washington, D.C.
They come in to 9th grade. This school, the kids read somewhere between a 1st and 3rd grade reading level. They've been pushed through the system.
At school, even in kindergarten, you teach us how to behave in the world.
Today, there are no high schools left in America that teach students the knowledge necessary to start their own business, invent their own product, or even how to use the internet and other free resources to become educated about things without attending college. Somebody who wants to earn a high income usually goes to college because they have been suckered into believing it offers them the greatest ability to do so.
I don't care what I have to do. I don't care how many jobs I have to obtain, but she will go to college. And there's just no second guessing on that one. When you go to college, you learn, you get your education, and you don't get a job, you get a career. That there's a difference.
Away, and the tree was happy.
But they brainwash you from a little kid up so that you buy into the system and you get good grades and you study hard. And then you become a member of the total system. No freedom. You don't know how to think because they told you how to think their way.
You teach us to not to fight with others, to work things out, to respect others, to clean up our mess, not to hurt other creatures, to share, not be greedy. Then why do you go out and do the things you tell us not to do?
Superman is not real. I was like, he's not. What do you mean no, he's not real? And she thought I was crying because it's like Santa Claus is not real. And I was crying because there was no one coming with enough power to save us.
In 2007, the education world went into a frenzy over the possibility that Michelle Rhee and D.C. Mayor Adrian Fenty could actually turn around the school district.
Just in case there was any confusion, I am 37 years old, and no, I have never run a school district before.
Fenty picked somebody who had never gotten a PhD, who had only been a teacher for 3 years, hadn't been a principal, hadn't been a superintendent anywhere else.
95% of college graduates interviewed by NIA with annual incomes above $200,000 tell us that their college degrees had absolutely nothing to do with their business success. In fact, of these same people surveyed, 90% of them said that they probably would have become successful at a much earlier age and be making even more money today if they didn't waste so many years of their life attending college.
Good schools. That's what all of us want. But sometimes I wish someone would tell me just what these words mean. It seems that we all have different ideas on the subject, yet each of us feels that he has the very best solution.
I understand taking tests aren't fun. Too bad. We need to know in America. We need to know whether or not children have got the basic education.
Since the 1970s, U.S. schools have failed to keep pace with the rest of the world. Among 30 developed countries, we rank 25th in math and 21st in science. The top 5% of our students, our very best, rank 23rd out of 29 developed countries. In almost every category, we've fallen behind, except one. The same study looked at math skills and found in these 8 countries, the USA ranked last. But when researchers asked the students how they felt they had done, did I get good marks in mathematics? Kids from the USA ranked number 1 in confidence.
I mean, this district did not become the way that it is by accident. There's a complete and utter lack of accountability for the job that we're supposed to be doing, which is producing results for kids.
The California State University system is designed to accept the top 1/3 of high school graduates, but most are not prepared. They have to remediate 50 to 60% of all incoming freshmen before they can take college-level classes. So when you have a system that's completely dysfunctional, you see good people do strange things. In Milwaukee, they call it the dance of the lemons. Here's how it works. Principals have their lemons. These are teachers who are chronically bad. They know it. The other teachers know it. The school knows it. But the union contract says you can't fire them. So at the end of the year, all the principals get together and they do the lemon dance. Fred gives Jack his lemons. Jack gives Sally his lemons. And Sally gives Greg her lemons. The lemon dance. Each principal hopes the teachers he's stuck with at the end of the dance are somehow better than the ones he's getting rid of, and that this year he'll finally be able to take his lemons and make lemonade. Each state deals with this in a different way. In some states, it's pass the trash. Others, it's the turkey trot.
My dad always says, you are what you do, not what you say. Well, what you do makes me cry at night.
The mentality is that they have a right to that job. I believe that that mindset has to be completely flipped on its head. And unless you can show that you're bringing positive results for kids, then you cannot have the privilege of teaching in our schools and teaching our children.
If you want to learn how to do something, try to study under the person that can do it the best that he can do. There are jobs everywhere. You have to create a job. You don't get a job, you make one.
So if you want to reward a really good teacher who's kicking ass, knocking it out of the park, can you do that?
We, under the current contract, cannot pay teachers more based upon their performance.
Why not?
It's not in the contract.
When you see a great teacher, you are seeing a work of art. You're seeing a master, and it is as, I think, unbelievable as seeing a great athlete or seeing a great musician.
We cannot sustain an economy based on innovation unless we have citizens well educated in math, science, and engineering. If we fail at this, we won't be able to compete in the global economy.
I'm not very good at math, but I think I'd say it's my favorite subject. Math and science.
The problem is, our schools haven't changed, but the world around them has. The students at KIPP and Jeffrey Canada's schools don't just do better than other poor kids, they do better than everyone. Closing the achievement gap and shattering the myth that those kids can't learn.
Those kids have gone from the 32nd to the 60th percentile in reading, and from the 40th to the 82nd percentile in math. We have never had those kinds of gains for low-income kids.
I want somebody to come up and draw 3/4 for me.
In Jeffrey Canada's program, there are 8,000 students. In a neighborhood where less than 1 out of 10 residents have a college degree, 9 out of 10 are proficient in math and are on track to go to a 4-year college.
The top charter schools are sending over 90% of their kids to 4-year colleges. Because when you get the culture right, the teachers are helping each other out, and that long school day means that that is the primary thing that student is engaged in. It works.
KIPP Academy has been named the highest performing middle school in the entire Bronx.
After a short time, Michelle Rhee had made clear progress. Test scores were up across the city, and her broad powers allowed her to shift resources away from the central office and into her schools.
For the first time in Washington, D.C. public schools, we've ensured that every single school has an art teacher, a music teacher, a PE teacher, a librarian, and a nurse.
But when she tried more fundamental changes, the kind she saw in successful charter schools, the more she ran up against the system. She couldn't extend the school day, effectively evaluate her teachers, or alter the terms of tenure.
If we were doing such a wonderful job and producing such geniuses coming out of universities, you think we'd be in the problems that we're in now? Do you think that we would be among the most unhealthy nation of people in developed nations? Do you think that we would be gobbling down junk food? Do you think that we would be prescription drug addicts as a society? Do you think that we would be in the greatest recession that's heading toward the greatest depression? Do you think we would be in Iraq and wasting trillions of dollars fighting losing wars in Afghanistan and now in Pakistan? Do you think that we would have presidents and senators and congressmen and legislators of such low mentality that we have now? Do you think that we would have the rampant greed of the white shoe boys on Wall Street if the universities were turning out anything of quality, considering the trillions that are spent and the tens of millions that are educated? By their deeds you shall know them. Look what American universities have produced. Grown-up jocks. Excuse me, they're coaches now. Hey, coach. Making millions of dollars. For what does this have to do with education? What a waste. What a waste. 2-bit universities fielding baseball teams, football teams, basketball teams. For what? To entertain the kids? Yeah, you can do this if you're a very rich society and you have the money to waste, but not during a great recession, and not as the median household income of the country continues to decline, and not as you're sending all of these kids to get degrees in worthlessness, because that's what these university degrees are, a lot of them. It's a waste of money, it's a waste of energy, and it's an affront to anyone who really wants to think seriously about an education, because it has nothing to do with the NCAA.
If there was a true free market in college education, colleges would be figuring out more cost-efficient ways to educate students using modern technology in order to bring tuitions down and compete against each other for the enrollment of students.
You tell me the difference about sitting in an auditorium in NYU with 1,000 other people or sitting in front of your screen and listening to a professor. What's the difference?
I always ask my students, does it really make a whole lot of sense for all 20 of us to drive here every Tuesday and Thursday to get together to talk about digital media stuff when we really could do this with a little bit of re-engineering and actually have, instead of all of us coming together, if I came to you wherever you were? I think that's a model of the future. If you figure out each student probably spends 2 gallons of gas a day to come to class, times 20 students, times 15 weeks, add up how much gas that is and how much that costs. Who wouldn't want to have that money back, especially over a couple of semesters? Especially now because we have a much richer media environment to use for teaching and learning. I can now embed videos in my classes. I can bring in things like the National Inflation Association videos to my classes. I can bring dynamic, compelling things to my class that even in the old days, if I was really a compelling speaker, it's far better now. So even a mediocre professor like me can make my class rich and interesting, even in the online environment.
The largest and most profitable college of the future will be an online college that attracts all of the most successful professors from around the world and allows them to teach an unlimited number of students over the internet. Students will have the opportunity to be taught by the very best in any field of their choice from the comfort of their own home. They will receive a much higher quality education for only a small fraction of the cost of attending a traditional college.
Okay, so first of all, I'd just like to say that what I said at the beginning of the video, of course, I didn't really mean it when I said people are ignorant. I think that people learn at different rates. I sometimes slower than others, and vice versa. But what the really purpose of the video was, aside from uh, being my final for my ethics class, was to illustrate a problem. Try to get the best GPA possible, because I mean that is important thing, the GPA. Like, how are you going to show other universities that you're competitive? And that's through your GPA. It's all they teach you. It's get that 4.0, and if you can't, get it as close as you can. It's going to the classroom and get that A. And that is why when we have to take classes that are not relevant, or at least in our opinion relevant to our course of study, we decide to just try and get the A. Try to remember what the smart people said, because I mean what's on the books is what the smart people said, right? And that's what we do. I mean, unless we're really interested in the class, I don't think I can ask any of my friends to tell me what they learned in their philosophy classes. Just say, if they're not interested in philosophy, they won't remember it. They just want to go to school and get their degree and start working in what they feel is the best thing for them. And sadly, is usually motivated by money. Where is the money? And that's also another issue that arises. But nonetheless, I mean, going back to how we're raised, I have a young brother, and I just fear that that's what they're teaching them, to go after the A, go after the A, and eventually you no longer care about learning. It's like when you're playing a video game. Sometimes you have achievements that you have to achieve, and you just try to get them, and you miss out on the experience of what the video game is. You get upset because, like, oh, I can't find the last whatever it may be, and I can't get 100% on it. But it's not the point. You don't go into a classroom, you don't play a video game to get 100%. You go in there to try and get the best out of it, the most out of it. How is what you learn in the classroom going to be relevant to what you want to do? How is it going to help you in life? Forget about everybody else. Like, what grade did they get? What do you need to know for? It doesn't matter if the person next to you got an A or a C or a D. Why should that make you any better? You should go into a classroom and just think about yourself. Like, is this going to help me, and how's it going to help me? Which brings me to the next topic, which is talking about how there's open courses online. And there's countless universities that have put their material out online for free, like literally lectures of the professor speaking in class for the whole semester. And you have the lectures, you have notes, you have the homeworks, you have the tests, and all of it you can download. I mean, depending on the website you go to and the university. But everything's online now. So is there really a need to go to college? And some might say yes, some might say no. It all depends how badly you want the paper and the title. Because you can learn as much on your own as you can learn by going to school. And I think that's the real dilemma. I mean, going to school does not guarantee you the world. And not going to school does not mean that you can't do good.